I'm going to describe to you the best piece of superhero media to come out in the last few years, and I want you to try and guess it. It's an Amazon Prime exclusive that includes an evil version of Superman, cool and varied villains, and a main character that doesn't really know what he's doing or how he can help the world. Now, what if I told you I'm not talking about The Boys? That's right. As much as I like The Boys, today we're talking about Now, let's compare the two for a sec because I do really like The Boys as well, and I think there are some similarities. Both series are a bit of a meta commentary on the genre. They poke fun at classic superhero tropes and provide more of a realistic version of what our beloved characters from Marvel and DC would be like in the real world. I watched The Boys first, after it came out, and I remember seeing the first episode and being hooked right away. The shock value of it all, seeing A-Train run right through Huey's girlfriend and watching Huey blow up translucent in the first episode, it sets the tone that this is going to be a different show. This isn't your typical Hawkeye or Moon Knight. And The Boys is great. The amount of entertainment you'll get from it is definitely worth the watch. But Invincible is even better. The first episode of Invincible gave me that same holy shit moment like The Boys did, and it continues to build each episode. It provides that same meta commentary, that element of parody, while still taking itself completely seriously. The main character, Mark, is learning how to be a superhero, and at first, he's shit. He thinks he's doing the right thing, and he ends up doing more harm than good. He laughs at superhero tropes, and then discovers why they're tropes in the first place. Mark is such a likable character, and I can't really say the same thing for Huey. Things more so happen to Huey, and he has to fight back. He finally gets powers in Season 3, but despite these sudden powers, he still doesn't go through nearly as much self-discovery as Mark does in Invincible. One huge difference between the two shows is that while The Boys has an interesting main plot, and some side characters doing some interesting or funny things, a lot of the time the main characters are waiting or preparing for the next big battle. Maybe this is a limitation of live action, but the characters' intentions and growth come more from dialogue instead of actions. Here we get into one of the main reasons why Invincible is so great. In Invincible, things are happening all the time. In Season 1, you have the investigation of the murders of the Guardians of the Globe, suspicions around Omni-Man slowly arising more and more, you have Mark dealing with his own missions, Debbie dealing with her own grief through slowly discovering the truth, Cecil planning things behind the scenes that are unclear, Robot working with the Mauler twins on a secret project, the new Guardians of the Globe learning to work together, and on top of all that, you have new villains popping up every episode. It's jam-packed with stuff happening, and it's all awesome. You have no idea how all these stories are gonna connect, or even if they will connect. It's why the series needs a refresher at the beginning of every episode that catches you up on the things that will be important for the current episode. All these things happening make the world feel so lived in. This is completely fleshed out with tons of characters to follow. Despite all these things happening, Season 1 has a clear narrative, beginning to end. It starts with an inciting incident of Mark getting his powers, and you could say that everything in this season happened because Mark got his powers. Mark getting his powers is the reason Omni-Man kills the Guardians of the Globe, and it's the reason Omni-Man decides to now take over the planet. It's also because of Mark that Earth isn't taken over. He didn't beat Omni-Man in a physical fight, but he showed him that he is human and he will never stop caring about humans. And for that matter, he'll never stop caring about his dad. And that brings me to my third point. What do you get when you strip away everything from Invincible? You take away all the costumes and the powers and you're left with these characters. You have a story about a son who has always dreamed of being like his dad. His gradual discovery that the world is not black and white and that he is his own person. It's at the end of the day that message that makes Invincible special. The superhero world they've built just creates a profound way to tell that story. Now, if you haven't watched Invincible yet, please do. It's one of the best things I've ever watched, and that's not even an exaggeration. It may come across as just a regular superhero show at first, but it's really not. It's jam-packed with incredibly engaging storylines, intriguing characters, and a profound message. And right now is the perfect time to get into it, since Season 1's already done, and they're releasing Season 2, and they're confirmed for Season 3. So yeah, please go watch it, and have a great day. Bye.